Welcome to Graya Overload. I'm Anthony, and AMD had announcements at CES. Let's take a look at them. AMD went through a ton of announcements here at CES 2018, and it looks like that they're going to keep their foot on the gas pedal, and they really want to grow their market. It's kind of exciting to see AMD in this sense that we haven't seen for a really long time. I mean, 2017 was the first year, but that succession of keeping a foot on the gas pedal. This is the first time I've seen it in a while, and it's exciting that there's starting to be competition back in the CPU market. We've seen some fun stuff already, even from Intel, increasing their core count, etc. But getting into AMD and kind of stuff that they announced was that the x86 side of things is that they have the Zen core and in production in both 14 and now 12 nanometer, and 12 nanometers are now sampling out, and the samples are now shipping. So that's kind of cool, and so we can expect that here in the next couple months, or next few months, I should say. And that's exciting because it's refinement. Maybe there's higher overclock, maybe better memory performance, better memory capabilities on it that it can do. But I'm really excited about the Ryzen second generation products as well. I think that's kind of exciting. And Zen's that core underneath it, the core architecture. And then the Zen 2 design, which is basically the next architecture coming next year, that is complete, and that is going forward still, but it's now that design is complete. So that's pretty cool as well to have that all done. And then AMD also said that they're on track to deliver their performance for the 2020 per watt performance as well. So that's really cool as well. They said some stuff. I'm going to get into some future stuff here in a little bit, and the graphics, but I want to touch on some of the desktop processors that they announced during this as well, and mobile processors. So they have the desktop processors with Radeon graphics, and this is pretty big because now you're going to have that all-in-one package that you can just install. You don't need a discrete card at all. You can have a quad core with 8 threads, or up to, as well as up to a Vega 11 GPU on there, so 11 compute units. And you basically be able to do 1080p gaming. You'll basically have all the Radeon stuff with FreeSync 2, Radeon Chill, all that stuff in one desktop processor without having to go with a discrete GPU right away. And this is going to come in the Ryzen 5 2400G with Vega 11 graphics, and the Ryzen 3 2200G with Radeon Vega 8 graphics. So the Ryzen 5 is going to have 4 cores, 8 threads, and 3.9 boost clock, 11 compute units, clocked at 1250 megahertz, 45 to 65 watt processor. Then you got the Ryzen 3 2200G, and this is going to be 4 cores, 4 threads, 3.7 gigahertz, 8 compute units because it's a Vega 8, and 1100 megahertz max boot clock, 45 to 65 watts. I'm actually really interested in this, in like a little media box, and kind of upgrading my current media box as well. But I also have a lot of people I do business for that are looking at that single box, desktop, small, that just they don't need a dedicated graphics card, and this is a great option for them as well. Especially the Ryzen 5 one. I think that looks pretty sweet right now for many of those clients and a lot of other users as well. But jumping into the mobile side of things now, AMD had said that they're going to get Ryzen Pro out in the mobile space, and they have. So they have the Ryzen Pro 2700U with Vega 10, Ryzen 5 Pro 2500U with Vega 8, and then a Ryzen 3 2300U with Vega 6. And the Ryzen 5, the Ryzen 7 are 4-core 8-thread. And then you have the Ryzen 3, which is 4-core 4-thread, all 15 watts. And as you can see here, the compute units go along with what they said in the Vega one, clocked from 1300 on the Ryzen 7 to 1100 on the Ryzen 5 and the Ryzen 3. And then the next interesting thing is that they introduced the Ryzen 3 for consumer side as well. So we're going to get, along with the 2700U and the 2500U on the consumer side, we're also going to get the Ryzen 3 at 2300U and 2200U. And the 2300U, again, is with Vega 6 graphics, just like the Pro, 4 cores, 4 threads, 3.4 gigahertz, and then the 8 compute units are clocked at 1100 megahertz, 15 watts. And the Ryzen 3 2200U is a 2-core, 4-thread, 3 gigahertz, and it has Vega 3 graphics. And so that's going to be clocked at 3 compute units clocked at 1000 megahertz. And what's interesting about this one is I think that it puts a great entry level for AMD to go after that line, a full stack of products to go after Intel. Might even give a bigger opportunity for more thinner lights to get into that, lower price range, $200, $300, $400. Start bringing that down, create some more movement there overall. To help with the competition. I think it's a great move by them, and I'm kind of excited to see what all happens here. And let me get back to my notes to the right page here. But I'm kind of excited here with the graphics side of things before it turn into some of the other stuff they have announced as well. And that is that they have this Vega Mobile, and that Vega Mobile for high performance, that you're going to get a high performance GPU, low Z height, so it's supposed to be very, very thin, to compete with NVIDIA. It can be addition Vega processor in these notebooks, and I'm excited to see that, to see what that does overall, what the gaming can do, how it changes. Their motto, I was listening to their video of it, is gaming everywhere, or Radeon everywhere, I should say. Radeon is everywhere. So they're trying to get that all over, and it's kind of exciting to see that they're putting a foot behind it. Now, NVIDIA still has great products overall, but AMD needs mind share and market share, and so they need to be going after both items there as well to get that to branch out. And the first 7nm AMD product is going to be Vega for mining. No, machine learning. I'm slightly joking, AMD. I do not want one for mining just yet. I want, gaming graphics cards in stock first. Or graphics cards period in stock. But machine learning, which is a huge thing, especially with cars coming and automated cars, just automated almost everything. You can even get, I bet you there's stuff from automated factories that are just going to learn on how they do stuff as well. Think of anything, you want to use machine learning, right? And AMD with their ecosystem, as their ecosystem continues to grow, they're going to have this 7nm product to work on that as well. And so AMD also announced, though, with the Radeon software, that they're going to have HDMI 2 VVR, variable refresh rate, and implement that in its upcoming driver release, which is really cool, especially if you got an HDMI monitor with HDMI 2.1 to be able to connect in. You'll have that variable refresh rate, and it's going to be integrated into that FreeSync name as well, umbrella. And that's kind of cool. I'm really excited about that. When you look at the next lines and look at the future products here, I'm going to start with the graphics. I was just talking about that. Navi is right after in 2019, next year, and the next gen is 2020, and that's kind of what the timeline is. And then once you get back to the CPU side, first I want to mention that they have motherboards that there will be, or new chipsets, the X470. So there'll be new chipsets here that'll be coming out, but guess what? It's all the same socket. We're not getting a new socket. It can be very annoying when you get a new socket every year, and it's not backwards compatible or forwards compatible, or etc. So, but AMD says that these are all the processors should work. BIOS update to the X370 will be needed for the new generation Ryzen processors here that are coming out in the next few months, but it's all going to work. That's super exciting, and I like that they iterated again today that this is good till 2020. This socket's good till 2020. So that's a great move by AMD. I think that as people want to upgrade, they can just pop a new one in. That's a great opportunity for them, especially if they don't have the money right now and they have it later, that they can still use that and get the benefit of that, rather than just having to decide, do I have to upgrade everything or am I stuck? Also, Threadripper was a great product. Second generation Threadripper coming out in the second half. The Pro, a lot of stuff, second half of all this refreshing of all the next gen Ryzen, Threadripper, etc., Ryzen mobile, Ryzen processors that aren't in the first half with like the desktop side of things are coming in all in the second half, or some stuff is, I think, the Pro and Threadripper second half. That's super exciting. I want to see what they do with Threadripper, especially with some of the refinements. Threadripper's a great processor. I cannot wait. And one other thing I should mention here, because I know I have a friend, he's a huge Far Cry fan, Far Cry franchise fan and everything, but Ubisoft announced that Far Cry 5 will support the Radeon RX Vega specific features like Rapid Pack Math and FreeSync 2 technology. So that's pretty exciting if you're a Radeon RX owner, which I know he is, and he's going to get the benefit of all that. So I can't wait to see that game in 4K in all its glory, playing as well. And let me know what other games you're excited for as well, and what things of AMD you're excited for here that are taking advantage of some of the AMD side products. And I'm really kind of excited to see where AMD is and how they're moving. They still have work to do in the graphics. I hopefully that they iron that out this year and kind of get a good pathway forward, but to get leadership and to be fighting for the top place again with NVIDIA, which is always great to see competition in the area. But on the CPU side, they're keeping, and even with Radeon everywhere, they're keeping their foot to the pedal, moving this forward. It's really exciting to see. I love watching competition and companies compete and move forward as well. But it's going to be a fun year, I think, again, and that's the fun part. So until next time, I do want to thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting Graya Overload and helping this channel grow. I'm really appreciative of that as well. And until next time, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching Graya Overload. If you like this content, be sure to subscribe.